What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a little endometriosis update. I've tried many a times in the past 6 months filming an update because I have had some stuff going on and it hasn't worked out the way I wanted it to. So now I'm kind of at the point where I have a lot of information gathered and details to share. So before I start, if you haven't seen my first endo story video that I posted, I'll put a card right up here. You can click on that and watch that just to kind of get my full story leading up to what's been going on recently. So when we came out here, I knew that I wanted to find a new endo specialist. It's super important to me to be going to a gynecologist or an office that has a gynecologist that's a specialist. Unfortunately, there are no endometriosis specialists in San Diego, which is unfortunate because I'm sure that there are a lot of other women here who have endo and go through endo and are either not getting any care for their endo or they're getting improper care. I spent hours researching for gynecologists in the area and I was like, well, maybe I'll find someone or something will come up that I haven't heard of before, or that on the Nancy's Nook page that I'm a part of on Facebook, maybe they haven't posted about this specific person, but they have good reviews. I don't really know. And I found a lot of doctors that listed that endometriosis was something that fell under their umbrella of things that they treat, but I didn't really see a lot of endo specialists. I didn't see any endo specialists or excision specialists. Didn't see any of that. So after spending hours online, I knew already that there were a couple specialists between here and Los Angeles, the closest one being in Riverside, California. That is about an hour and a half away from us, which honestly, for a specialist, that's totally fine with me. I have no problem driving that far to get to a specialist. So I called and made an appointment because I needed to do my annual exam and I just wanted to meet with the specialist as well, just to kind of talk to her about where I was at. I had my normal exam and then I had an appointment probably a few weeks later with the specialist. So kind of before I get into my appointment and appointments with her, just kind of want to share what's going on in my body right now. What has led me to seeing a specialist out here. So my NuvaRing that I was on, that I talked about in the last video, I'm still on that. It's working better than any other birth control has, but it's not like I feel great every single day. I would say it feels like a good Band-Aid. I don't love that. Compared to my periods before, my pain is a lot less than it was before I had my first surgery. It's definitely, I think, helping with the pain a little bit, which is good. So there's kind of that piece of it. I still have digestive issues, which I'll get into that as well in a little bit. But the main thing or two that are somewhat new for me. The first thing, at my last appointment in Illinois before I moved here, the doctor that I saw told me that the left side of my cervix feels somewhat immobile, which is usually due to adhesions, which adhesions can come about through prior surgeries, which I've had. That is also a common problem with endometriosis, and you don't have to have surgery to have endometriosis create adhesions. And all of the endo and prior adhesions that I had were found on the left side of my body. So the left side of my body had gone through more than any other part of my body during that surgery. So there's that part of it that I know is not something that needs to be addressed right now because we're not trying to have kids right now, but it's just something to keep in mind. And then the other main issue that I'm having right now has started within the past year, I would say. I've started having really bad bladder pain. When my bladder is full, it hurts. When I pee, it hurts. So it's not fun. Not every issue I'm gonna have in my life will be related to endometriosis, but because the bladder stuff seems somewhat cyclical and it's somewhat new, it leads me to believe that they could be somewhat related. So all those things combined I thought it'd be good to see the specialist. And so our first visit was just like a telehealth visit, basically just kind of going over my history and what's going on right now and kind of where things are at. That was really good. She's super nice. So happy to have found her. And so the next visit that I had with her was a pretty extensive exam. She did an external ultrasound. She did an internal ultrasound. She did a pelvic exam, and she did a rectovaginal exam, which is not fun, but if you have to have it done, you have to have it done. So she did all of those things. And something about endometriosis, if you don't know this already, is you can't see it on a scan. You can't see it on an ultrasound. You can't see it on a CT scan. I think the one scan that you could maybe see like really deep infiltrating endometriosis is on an MRI. Also, it's more likely that you can't see it on the MRI. So any scans that you have will not show endometriosis. They may show cysts if you have cysts. They may show organs not in the right place. The ultrasounds that she did were basically just to check on everything, which was good. My ovaries looked good. Everything on the ultrasound looked normal for the most part. The one thing that she did say was that I have fluid, or at the time of my ultrasound, I had fluid in my cul-de-sac. Yes, that is also a part of your body and not just part of your neighborhood, which I think your cul-de-sac, or I think it's also called like your pouch of Douglas, is like the area underneath your uterus, like your pelvic cavity kind of. And she said that sometimes that's normal, sometimes people just get fluid, but it also is a sign of endometriosis. And then also just the new bladder pain and just doing the pelvic exam, feeling around, feeling where I had pain. So she gave me some options. She said, I want you to do pelvic floor physical therapy. You have some really tight muscles that can be contributing to pain, which I am positive that that is legitimate. Like I've done pelvic PT before, and it's been good for me. But then she also said that she wanted me to try an elimination diet for my bladder. I've obviously eliminated a lot of things from my diet for my digestive system. Basically, there's this like kind of standard list of foods that can be irritating to your bladder. She said, I really want you to give this diet a good shot and then see what happens. You know, it may not change anything. It may change something. It may resolve the problem. You never know. And then she also wanted me to see a neurogastroenterologist, which I actually just had my appointment for that right before filming this video, which I'll kind of go into detail about that in a moment. But she said she wanted me to try those things and see if that helped at all, if it fixed the problem at all. But she also said your other option is to just do a surgery and see, you know, what we see. Maybe we find something, maybe we don't, but at the same time, you're still gonna get some sort of answers. So at the time of that appointment, I was honestly feeling really uncertain about doing another surgery. I was like, and I told her this, I was like, I'm just scared that you're gonna go in and not find anything. And then it's gonna, for me, feel like, well, what was this for? I told her that I wanted to try these other things first and see how they went. Within the next week, I started this elimination diet, and it was a rough couple of weeks of basically just eating eggs and bland chicken and bland vegetables and bananas. That's basically all I ate for 2 weeks. And by the end of those 2 weeks, I definitely noticed a slight difference in my pain, which was good, but it still didn't fix the problem. I was still definitely feeling some pain and discomfort like I had been before. So as I started adding stuff back in, I did realize that chocolate and grapes are two triggers for my bladder. In like, it seems like for both, it's in like larger quantities. I'm not gonna say that I'll never have chocolate again and I'll never have grapes again, but it's definitely good to know that like there is going to be a consequence if I have either of those things. Once I discovered that the food thing was not 100% going to fix my problem, it kind of pushed me a little bit closer to being more okay with surgery. And I didn't end up getting to go to physical therapy before my next follow-up visit, which was yesterday. I haven't gotten a call from the place they referred me to, and that was about a month ago, so I'll probably reach out at some point. It probably got to a point a month ago where I was just like really feeling like, you know, this follow-up appointment is gonna come up and I'm gonna need to know what I wanna do. And if I don't wanna do surgery, that's fine. I feel like with endometriosis, you try and try and try, and once you've tried a lot of things and nothing changes, that's when you do surgery. So I really just got to the point where I was like, okay, I've tried these things and nothing has made me feel a lot better, so surgery is probably my next step. I'm having surgery September 9th, which is crazy because that's coming up very soon. It's gonna go by so fast. I feel so much better now about surgery than I did 3 months ago. Like 3 months ago, I was just like in this panic of like, what if she doesn't find anything? But now, like after the appointment that I had yesterday, I just feel like relieved that I know it's gonna happen. And like, I don't know if happy is the right word, but I kind of felt happy, like, okay, like we're doing this and we're gonna figure something out. So yeah, it'll be my second endo surgery. I'm assuming it'll be fairly similar to the last one in terms of procedure and recovery. So getting now into the digestive side of things, my specialist referred me to a neurogastroenterologist, which I had never heard of in my whole entire life. It was a telehealth appointment, and it was my worst telehealth experience ever. Basically, the video just kept freezing over and over again. I felt like every time he had something important to say, it would freeze. Yeah, the appointment itself was a disaster, but he is going to put me on a medication called Linzess. I honestly have to do a little bit of research on it to see what it is because he was frozen the whole time he was talking about it. But basically it just helps to move things along as they should be moving along, but it's not like a laxative, so that's good. And then he ordered me some blood work just to make sure there are no other like digestive illnesses or anything like that that are actually going on and are just kind of being masked by IBS. But yeah, that is the update. I'm definitely planning to film a couple videos around my surgery and recovery and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I love sharing my story to be able to bring more awareness to endometriosis because there's just not enough out there. But anyways, that is all that I have for this big little update on my life. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!